We're here with one of Fauquier wrestling coaches, Chris Thomas, outside Fauquier Wrestling Room for the preseason interviews with coaches and wrestlers. This would be Coach Thomas' 5th year coaching the Falcons, and one of those coaches that reviews postseason videos of their kids and fine-tunes the mistakes that the kids are doing on the mat. Thanks, Coach Thomas, for stepping out of the wrestling room and taking this interview. Wrestled up in Connecticut and coached up in Connecticut for 10 years before joining Team Fauquier the past 5 years ago. Tell us what it's been like coaching up in Connecticut and now in Virginia.
So, I think originally I thought it'd be a lot different, but, bottom line is coaching. There's certainly a lot of differences between Connecticut and Virginia, the way the schedules are set up, certain level of competition. Up there where you would wrestle every Wednesday, we'd wrestle every Saturday. Not exactly as conducive to my schedule as I'd like. But down in Virginia, honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to get the chance or the opportunity to coach. Coming down here with the job that I have, it's kind of difficult to get in the room. So I was really just blessed to find the right program, step in, and continue on my quest to try to find a team that was searching for their first state title, become part of that, and help them achieve that goal.
We're super excited to have you, and every time you get in the practice room, you bring out the best of the kids. It seems that each one of the Fauquier wrestling staff has a role. Can you discuss and let our viewers know your role?
Yeah, so in terms of my ability to actually be able to coach with the team, that's kind of goes hand in hand with that prior point. So I'm not able to be in the room every single day. But we have about 8-9 different coaches that all have different things. Some people can get to practice every single day, but they can't get to matches, where I'm kind of the opposite, have weekends off, can get to each and every tournament, in-state, out-of-state, and make it to as many practices as possible. One thing that we're working on right now is trying to identify talented student athletes throughout the school that we can introduce to wrestling. Not necessarily guys who were part of our youth program, but guys that look good in football or other sports. Partnering with different coaches, working through Coach Fisher, to identify them, get their information, open up a line of communication, and start introducing them to the sport. Hopefully they'll come out. Some guys we've actually already gotten that aren't part of the different sport. They're already in the room working out. And the second part to that is retaining them. So we have to get them in, we got to retain them. We do a couple different things with our schedule. So we have some early practices that Coach Wells runs, gets those new guys in, help them out, get them up to speed. We don't really throw them to the wolves like we did when I first came down. We do a little bit different with the schedule in terms of not necessarily sending all of our guys to the top tier national, caliber tournaments that we go to. We kind of split them apart so that way they're not getting thrown to the wolves right away.
Right.
They're not getting beat up every single weekend. While our top tier guys can still seek the type of matchups that they need, we can get the right level of competition for the other guys. Other thing that you alluded to earlier was break down matches. So every single tournament, every single time we compete, we record everything on Huddle. We break it down. It's a really cool software where it's basically all privatized. We can email the stuff to the wrestlers. We can break down each video. We can stop it, freeze frame it. We could put on, draw on the screen, do voiceover, overlays, have it stop, rewind, slow motion, a lot of things like that. Coach Villalobos helps me out with that as well.
Nice, yeah.
Hopefully Coach Atwell will help out this year. I run the warm-ups for all the guys in terms of, before each match, get them going, make sure they break through that wall so they don't do it first match of the day. And basically, working on game plans. So helping out working game plans out based off of all the video review, looking at scouting when it comes to postseason, get all the information into the coach's hands, get all the information in the wrestler's hands so we know what to look for,
right,
how to coach correctly. And then, obviously last but not least, I'm on the side of the mat, helping our guys go. I'm normally the loud one with a lot of emotion, but it's because I enjoy it.
Always building, seems like. Got a lot of coaches. I know that, it's tough being here every practice. That's why we got a lot of coaches, and support is overwhelming. The past 4 years, we won a state title twice, came runner-up twice since you've arrived. Seems like a well-oiled machine. It's great to be a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said earlier, I mean, when I was coaching up in Connecticut, started out my freshman year wrestling at the high school I ended up coaching at, Farmington High School up there. My freshman year was the first year we ever had a winning season in the history of the school. So to go from that to my last year coaching there as an undefeated 29-0, but still coming up short in the state tournament, coming down here, I didn't want to necessarily go to a team that had, won that before. I wanted to go to the same sort of team, almost trying to pick up where I left off, be part of something that's never happened before. And second year in, we were able to get it, and then the third year in, we were able to duplicate it. And yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, it is a well-oiled machine. I mean, Coach Fisher runs a great program, top to bottom, and I got pretty lucky that I was able to get here and hook up with him and hook up with the team when I did, and we're gonna keep on moving forward and keep on getting better.
Right. So leading into that, touch base with the culture here and coaching with Coach Fisher. Can you touch on that with our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the culture here is, they get it. In general, whether it's the wrestling parents, whether it's the wrestlers themselves, or all the coaches on staff, the administration, the training staff, they get it. They all get wrestling, and the kids more often than not, they understand that hard work, directly correlates to success. And being part of a program that gives so many extra training opportunities, whether it's off-season, workouts, putting logistics together for camp, clinics, for going up to FCA, going to George Mason on the weekends, just getting our guys ready and giving them all the opportunity they can to take advantage and get better, not just throughout the year, but not throughout the season, but in the off season as well. And Coach Fisher, I mean, that man's a machine. I mean, he puts it together for everybody. He keeps everybody on point. And listen, if you got something to add, you can be here 1 day a week or 2 days a week. You're part of the team. You're going to be part of the program. He doesn't turn people away. And he's a machine in all aspects of life. I mean, the guy is a great guy. I've gotten to know him not only as being from his assistant coach, but being a good friend. And if I could try to be a little bit more like Coach Fisher, I'm going to do all right.
Right. He brings something special to the program. Knows how to drive the ship straight down the ocean correctly. We start November 6th. That's just like, just 2 weeks away. We go up and down the schedule. All the way to the state tournament. That's what everybody's grinding for. But that elite tournament is the beast of the East, and ask any wrestling coach. It's going to be up there. It's great to have people compete, but you got to place. You think we have anybody from Fauquier have a chance to place this year there? Yeah,
you're right about that. I mean, it's a very, very tough tournament. It's right up there, one of the toughest high school tournaments, in-season tournaments in the nation. Some will say it is, but between that and Ironman, I mean, definitely a very, very tough tournament. So you get there, if you can place, you're doing really good things. You're going to be, I mean, if you win that tournament, you're a blue chipper going to the college.
Right.
But bottom line, yeah, we have 3 state champs on our roster, and I do expect that we're gonna find a placer between those guys, if not multiple placers.
Right.
If we can get them healthy, we can get them working. Coach Fisher does a great job getting these guys to peak at the right time, putting the schedule together so that we're seeing top level competition going in, and we can be at the ramp up as we go in. And those guys have seen it there before. They've worked there before. They've gone to bigger tournaments.
Right.
So I think we got a couple poised that can really make a run. In years past, we've had some guys there. We've had multiple time state champions that didn't place there. And a lot of times it goes in. You could be a 3-time state Virginia, champ, and you're not going to be seated there.
Right.
So when you run into the 1 seed in the quarterfinals, how do you react? Can you have that gut check? Can you come back on that dirt road, win a couple matches, and then beat somebody who's going to be really good in that blund round to get on the podium? And I think we got a couple guys that can do it. As long as they keep driving forward, we're going to make up some ground.
All right. Okay. A lot of great moments this program's had over the years. You want to share any of those that you think are one of your most memorable moments?
Yeah, I mean, certainly anytime you win a state championship for the first time in school history, that's going to be a pretty memorable moment. Right. That to go back to back, I mean, that was awesome. But I don't even know if this is on any of the top, Fauquier wrestling moments that you've compiled. But I got to tell you, a couple years back, wrestling at Virginia Duels in the national division, that was absolutely the most fun I've ever had as a coach. And the reason why that sticks out in my mind is because as a coach, our job is to try to get every kid on the team to reach their potential. And we lost a tough first match to South Plainfield, New Jersey. We lost. Well, originally we thought we won on criteria.
That was tie, right?
It was tie. We went on criteria H. Woo!
Man.
We head out. We go to the hotel. We're relaxed, and we get called back to the Coliseum. Turns out you lost. All right. Well, now what? Gut check, right? You got to come back. You got to win a match. We come back. We win a match, and then the next morning we got to wrestle Don Bosco.
That was a heck of a match.
I think they were ranked top 25 in the nation at that point in time. Maybe it was top 50. I could be exaggerating, but regardless, they're a tough team. Came down to the last match. Every kid had to do their job. You know, you had to get that extra point to get a major. You had to get that extra point back to not give up a major. You had to, get off your back to not give up that 6. And everybody did their job, and in the end, we won that match, I think, by 1 or 2. Came down to the last match. You turn right around, we had to beat another tough team in McDonough. Again, you guys like Miles Martin on that team, who's an NCAA champion for Ohio State. We wrestled that team.
Right.
And everything had to go right. Everybody had to do their job, and they did. Granted, we ran into the Nazareth, who was real tough, and I think we ran out of steam, but the fact that our guys could pick it up and we could just all execute on that high of a level in multiple matches, not just the kids, not just the wrestlers, but the coaching staff as a whole. We had to do a great job scouting. We had to do a great job bumping and moving, and that was the most fun I think I've ever had.
That was fun times, man. It was fun times. Last question. Any thoughts on Fauquier and the upcoming 2017-18 wrestling season? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you look at where we are. So you look at, like you said earlier, the last 4 years we've been top 2 in the state. You look at what we have returning. You got 3 state champs on the roster, and if you look at points in the Group 4A for Virginia, we have the most returning points for the state championship. So that should tell you something. We should be looking for a state title. We should be looking to be right in the mix. I mean, the key is going to be keep our guys healthy, keep our guys focused, keep getting better, and we should be right there with a chance to win it again. And really going into a season, you can't ask for more than that.
Chris, thanks for this interview, and looking forward to seeing you on the corner of the mat.